sa taas mo sikat, pag-salita mo yung katawan.
Right. Anyway, I'm Diego Castro and I'll be moderating today's event, the World Cancer Day Media Forum. The 3-year World Cancer Day campaign, its annual global celebration, having been held last February 4, explores how everyone, together or individually, can help reduce the global burden of cancer. Hence, the theme, We Can, I Can. We know that cancer is an epidemic. Cancer cases diagnosed annually are expected to rise to more than 20 million worldwide by 2030. That's an alarming number. If no intervention is done. Take note, if no intervention is done. That is why we are gathered here today by MSD in the Philippines, driven by a deep multi-stakeholder commitment to help reduce the global burden of cancer. For the second year, MSD signed up as the official sponsor of the World Cancer Day because the company and the Union for International Cancer Control, the proponent of the campaign, share the same objective of outpacing cancer through prevention, research, and treatment. To learn more about World Cancer Day and to motivate us to take action together, let's please focus our attention to the screen and watch this AVP.
Hi, my name is Kerry Adams. I'm the CEO of the Union for International Cancer Control, the team behind World Cancer Day every year on February the 4th, which has become probably the most well-known health day of the year. And we're delighted because it's grown and grown and grown over so many years due to the support of many people, of governments, of cities, patient groups, people who are survivors of cancer, and just cancer organisations generally, and people like you. It's been a fantastic experience seeing it grow to the levels it's at today. The reason that it's so important because cancer affects everyone. Over 8.8 million people will die this year from cancer, and many of those cancers could be avoided. So we need people like yourself to take action, to use the day to reflect on what we can do about cancer globally. 2018 will be the last year of our great campaign, We Can, I Can. Because we can, I can do so many things collectively and individually. This team here works collectively to help you as an individual do something on that day which is special to you as an individual. I know that will be brilliant, amazing, better than previous years. So thank you very much if you are going to become involved. Remember, we can, I can make a difference. Everything that you do raises the profile in the media and social media and will help us understand cancer better around the world. So thank you for being part of our world.
That was truly an inspiring video on what we can achieve to put our energies together against cancer. Again, I'm Diego Castro and I'm an advocate and ambassador of Hope From Within, Test, Talk, Take Action against lung cancer advocacy. Today we are talking about a very important matter, our health and the dreaded C. And hopefully in the future it will no longer be called the dreaded C. Anyway, with the help of our doctors and a lot of other people in this group, we can find ways. And God, of course. In one way or another, our lives have been affected by cancer, whether it's with a loved one, friend, a co-worker, or even oneself. For me, these were my parents. My father, if some of you may not know, died of cancer, lung cancer in 2012. And a year later, my mom was also taken away by the so-called dreaded C. And being able to talk about this is very important to me. It's close to my heart, which is why being here and being an advocate is a privilege for me. Together with me are very important guest speakers from groups who are equally, I assume, passionate about this cause, and I'm very sure. So let's introduce them. Dr. Claire Soliman, President of Philippine Society of Medical Oncology. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
And we have Dr. Dennis Tudtud, previous President of the Philippine Society of Medical Oncology. Good morning. Dr. George Ignacio, the past President of the Philippine Society of Oncologists Cancer Institute, Head of Philippine General Hospital. Good morning. and Dr. Conrado Lola, President of Philippine Society of Oncologists. Morning. And last but not the least, Dr. Nelia Tanyu, pathologist at Lung Center of the Philippines. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Doc. Anyway, the forum will serve as a platform for us to show our support for World Cancer Day, to be empowered by the theme, as I said a while ago, we can, I can. We have to know the current condition of cancer in the Philippines, share about what we can do to do further, and learn how our multi-stakeholder groups are working against this epidemic. Okay, now we've been talking about cancer for the past decades, and until now we really don't know much about it, at least from my perspective. And but given that it remains an alarming threat, it counts to continuously increase the profile of cancer in people's minds. Let's get into a deeper understanding of cancer and how we can address it individually and as a whole. So I'd like to ask my first question, and anyone can feel free to answer. And since we are going to discuss a lot of topics, let's keep it to a little short. Okay. First question is, can you share with us the burden of cancer globally and locally? Why does it matter for us to talk about this annually? Ladies first.
For the Philippines, we have already the 2015 Philippine Cancer Facts and Estimates stating that in 2015, we have like 150,000 new cancer cases diagnosed, and like 66,000 people will die of the cancer in a year. The top diseases for both sexes are basically breast, followed by the lung, and followed by the colon and rectum. So we look at the incidence of these cancers so that we can see how we can do our efforts. We can concentrate our efforts in trying to work in either preventing them or treating them. And nowadays, in the 2015 Philippine Cancer Facts and Estimates by the Philippine Cancer Society, it has been shown that lung cancer is now the leading cause of mortality or cause of death in the Philippines.
You said, Doc, I'd like to ask now, you said diagnosed. Are we able to monitor those who are not diagnosed? And of course, if they do die from this disease, how do we know then? Let's go into the far provinces, if they really died from cancer or not. These numbers are not accounted for.
Not yet.
Not yet.
These are only the number of people who go into the hospitals and get diagnosed and treated subsequently. So we really have a lot more to do in terms of knowing the real numbers, because there are indeed a lot of people who are not being seen by the doctors.
So that is one of the challenges we face.
Definitely, yes.
Thank you. Next is, given that World Cancer Day provides us an opportunity to talk about this dreaded disease, can you share what type of cancers continue to threaten and take lives worldwide? And why are they still rising?
As of now, lung cancer is still number one, but that is soon followed by the others, that the hepatobiliary, which is quite our problem right now, which is alarmingly going up because there aren't much information or research done on liver and pancreas right now. So that being, but although breast cancer is up there because of the high incidence of breast cancer itself. So by those numbers, I think that is where we concentrate our efforts in the preventive side. So it's like lung cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, hepatobiliary, and all those things.
I'm from Cebu. I probably would represent the community oncologists down under. No, below Manila. Below Manila. Yes, we do have our statistics still mirror a lot the national statistics, but we do have a lot of hepatocellular CA and lung cancer, specifically because we are a referral area. There's a referral bias for Cebu in terms of cancer registry, because we get them from the Visayas and Mindanao all together. These opportunities to highlight cancer as a disease probably should be given more importance, because when you talk of cancer, it's a stigma. It's a state that is dreaded and is followed with certain death. There's a fear of the disease and nobody wants to talk about it. However, if we do advocacy not only among the patients, the caregivers, and also in the medical community, that we are able, together with our partners in the pharmaceutical industry and the diagnostic acumen that we are getting from the pharmaceutical company, from the laboratory departments, we are going to be able to shake up the social as well as the standard media to bring cancer to the limelight, because awareness is very important to all the stakeholders. Then we have the opportunity to break the myth that cancer is incurable, because the new developments, the availability of new drugs have made it somewhat a chronic disease, so that you're able to live a quality of life that before was not considered as in the scenario of a cancer patient.
I just like that. He said fear. No. Siguro, I think we were talking about challenges, and I think it's not a lack of communication, but I think we need better communication in telling people the reason why you're not getting tested is because you fear it. Don't fear it. In fact, get tested, find out, and let's do something about it. And with that, it's how do we then do something at a national level? I mean, as individuals, what can we do to fight this disease?
In the Philippine Society of Oncology, our main aim is to promote what we call the multidisciplinary approach in the management of cancer. Ang palagi namin sinasabi, treatment of cancer is not a monopoly of one doctor, but it is a concerted effort of several doctors giving their inputs in the management of a multidisciplinary team. Starts from the diagnosis up to the last part of the treatment. So, hindi yung kung kailan lang na-diagnose yung pasyente na operahan, saka lang i-refer sa isang specialist, but it begins from the time of diagnosis. So, from that, kumbaga parang hindi ka magtatayo ng bahay at saka kung kailan mo masabi na kailangan pala ng terrace or ibang part, saka mo palang ipoposition, kundi at the very start, paghuhukay pa lang ng lupa, may blueprint ka na kung paano mo siya i-manage, so that the management will be streamlined. There is no waste of money, there is no waste of time. So everything is what we call a value-based medicine.
So you said streamlined and everything is value-based. Kasi ang dilemma, or at least during the time of my parents, ang dilemma ang haba ng mga discussion nangyayari bago malaman ko ano yung course of treatment. At least now, if we have a system and a blueprint, we know how to rule out the certain treatments or how to go about it swiftly. Kasi important ang buhay eh. Okay. Now, given its prevalence, how important is it to integrate cancer in health systems and in development agenda?
One thing is the development of the National Cancer Prevention Control ng Department of Health, which we also get into as specialists. PSMO, Dr. Soliman, Dr. Alola, they attended with the meetings of DOH and myself. We formulate policies on how patients will be more aware of the symptoms that they will have na early on para makapagkonsulta sila na maaga. Otherwise, pagka nahuli kasi sila, talagang mahuhuli rin lahat ng management sa kanila, which is very valuable in the management of cancer. Especially now that we have now unfocused lung cancer, dapat maaga yan nakikita eh. So, the moment they have those warning signs na it could be cancer, dapat nandoon na. At alam din dapat dun sa mga first line doctors, yung mga general practitioners, the family physicians, what to do, what to expect, what to ask for sa diagnostic para mabilis makikita yung bukol or yung cancer itself. Yun ang advocacy namin ngayon. Kaya every year, we create national cancer awareness. And we'd like to cascade that dun sa mga ano. So, in our mid-year conventions, iba-ibang provinces ang pinupuntahan to propagate that awareness.
The Department of Health has also done its piece recently. We are all familiar with the fact that the diagnostic and therapeutic capabilities of government hospitals have been very, very deficient. But thanks to the availability of resources from the syntax, we are now able to. Last year was a banner year for the acquisition of a lot of cancer-related machines. No, I come from Vicente Soto as well as a consultant, and the government has given Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center in Cebu a 470 million cancer center building, and has provided a linear accelerator, on the way to getting a cyclotron and a PET scan. We already have awarded the brachytherapy and the SPECT-CT. These are all important diagnostic tools, not only diagnose the disease or stage the disease more accurately, but also to give the opportunity of treatment spread around to a lot of people who need not only curative but also palliative care in the course of the cancer disease.
And we were talking about, of course, symptoms, but in general, who are at risk? I mean, naman ang ugali ng mga Pinoy or people in general. Before I want to get diagnosed or tested for anything, kailangan may maramdaman ako eh. Or tignan ko yung history ko, wala naman cancer mami ko, kunyari daddy ko, o wala naman akong bisyo. But it's nice to know who are at risk of getting cancer. Kasi cancer has this dreaded name, the silent killer.
Everybody is at risk, basically. There is no hard and fast rule. There are no major, symptoms that can tell you definitely this is cancer. What is important is basically for adults at 40 years old, you start screening. You go to your doctor and ask to be screened for the more common malignancies. We tell our patients to look for the warning signs. And what are those? A lump or a buccal in any part of the body that is not there in the